If Tuttle was here, he would be like furious with your production skills. Furious. Because that kid lives for it. That kid is precise. When he was telling me that he had a drinking problem, I was like stunned because I never saw him like that.
I've only heard good things about Tuttle. I met him once. He came up here once.
Well, you know, when your wife leaves you and shit like that, guys go a little crazy for a while.
I mean, okay, have a drinking problem for a little while. Just get out of it.
Well, you know, it isn't even a drinking problem. It's like that fucking binginess, you know? This crazy binginess. You're basically saying, it's like a way you're committing suicide, you know? It's just a suicide of the now. You just want to be dead for this period, so you do that, but with alcohol.
Yeah,
just blank it out.
They'll turn me off.
Well, the thing is, I have a feeling. No, I want to get rid of it. I feel bad about something. Let me crush it down. Let me kick it in the throat. There's nothing weirder than heartbreak. That shit where you're thinking about somebody when you don't even mean to.
It's like a weird switch, too, like when it happens, when like the breakup happens.
Yeah.
And it's just like everything is fine. Everything's okay. You're happy, supposedly. But then when it's fucking over, it's like every emotion goes fucking up and down to the maximum fucking degree.
Well, you ever do this before? Like, there's a girl, like, you don't think so much about, and so you break up. And then you see her with somebody else, you're like, you know what? She was fucking great. You're like, what? Why am I thinking that? What am I doing? Like, you have no... That's when you stop having control of your own brain, when you think crazy shit like that.
In college, there was a girl, I broke up with her, and then, like... But, like, it still wasn't totally broken up, but we still, like, fool around or whatever. But then I'd see some other dude, like, hanging around. I'm like, she's going to fuck this guy. What the fuck?
And that made you crazy.
Yeah. Fucking, like, who is this scumbag? And but then, you know, I broke up with her, so...
Doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean shit. That's why...
Like, at the point when I broke up, I was like, look, I just don't want to fucking be around you anymore.
You're awful. You were terrible. Wait a minute. Who's this fucking dude? Fucking coming in here ruining our happy home.
This is bullshit.
I don't know what happens, like, if you get that, like, breakup craziness, right? That you'd be like, yeah, I'm at work, and all of a sudden you're like fucking calling her up or calling her, you know what I mean? You're like, what am I doing? How did that even get there?
Now, I couldn't even, like, imagine, like, I haven't gone through, like, a breakup since, like, Facebook got really, really big.
I can't imagine that either.
Then you're just, you can actually see what they're up to in real time.
I couldn't.
It should destroy most people. Like, a breakup has to be so much worse now with this bullshit social media.
Here's the thing, and I always have this thing, is that you got to really, like, if you got a sister or a daughter or something, even if they're breaking up with a nice guy, you got to fucking keep an eye on that asshole, because the madness can come on. It does.
Yeah.
So you got to act like, hey, Terry, you know, make sure you check in, man. I know you two aren't going out anymore, but, you know, that doesn't mean we can't be buddies.
Well, I've made a bunch of fake Twitter accounts, and I know exactly what she's doing right now.
Yeah, you know what? You better chill the fuck out, because I'll fucking shoot you in the street.
I was able to actually find it. I could track her in real time. It's GPS. So now I know exactly who she's seeing.
The road goes on forever. That's the weird thing, man.
It's ridiculous how your heart destroys your brain. Or is it the other way around?
Well, your heart isn't real. This is all in your brain.
Oh, yeah,
it's
emotion.
all in your fucking brain. But it's temporary insanity. Like, if you get into a real breakup, like a divorce, right? You're temporarily insane. You're a crazy fucking person. And you better... And this can happen to women, too. I've seen women get the same way. But, you know, they're not as big as men.
No.
Fez don't want to jump into this, but he first got driven crazy by a guy that didn't even know he was dating Fez. It was just a guy Fez liked.
And Fez built up like a... Fez like build something up between them?
Well, I build up I didn't build up I don't think I build up an imaginary relationship, but I definitely build up feelings that I would only assume would feel like a breakup when it was done. I've only had one-sided breakups in my head, not...
You never even told him?
No.
And even now, you see him almost all the time. He works in this building.
Oh, boy.
He works one floor above us. This was all those years ago. And this was Fez's first total fucking meltdown. Where I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And he... Would you say you cracked up, Fez?
Yeah, cracked up is probably the best way to put it.
And was there anything else about it?
No, I think that was all it. It was just that part of it. But it was definitely a meltdown, or whatever analogy works there.
See, he worked for us, right? Now, we all used to laugh because Fez was very possessive of him and shit. And long story short, O&A had the church thing going on. So we got transferred to D.C. And they had their own people there, right? But I'm like, let me work on it. You know what I mean? Let me talk to them. We hadn't even really gotten down there. And I'd check out their people, and then I would put up ours, of who we'd be comfortable with. Fez was so freaked out by even the possibility, he went, spilled the beans, and to our producers at the time, and they immediately start looking for other jobs, and he was all freaked out. I'm like, why wouldn't you wait until I had the opportunity to see?
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't know why you just didn't chill.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been like the first onset of a panic, and just ran with the first thought that whatever was ever in my head.
And once you did that, boom, he was cold, right?
Yeah.
Now, this was a guy who paid attention to Fez, right? But once Fez said, hey, it looks like they don't want you, he was like, okay. And Fez wasn't getting call backs from him, nothing.
Wow, he's on to the next one for that person?
On to the next gig. Now, in that guy's defense, look, Fez looks all sad. But in that guy's defense, he didn't know Fez, or maybe he did. I don't know. He had to know Fez was crushing on him.
You think he was playing up to it?
Mm.
Who knows, right?
I don't. But did he know that you had your crack up and all that?
I don't think so.
Did you keep trying to reach him from down there?
Only for a little bit. Only for maybe a month.
How often during that month?
Every 15 minutes.
What?
No, I don't know.
But then just, then realize, I think things started to dawn on me finally. And just stopped that.
And that's the time Fez wasn't even telling me that he was gay. So he starts having all these real bad crack ups.
Panic attacks.
And I'm like, what is going on with you, dude? And he'd be just like, I want to go back to New York. I want it to be like it was. And I'm just like, chill for a little while. We got a good gig here. Something opens up in New York. We got the feelers out. But there was no talking to him. I mean, he just kept saying he wanted to go back to New York and that he would be better there.
For the entire time you guys were down there?
The entire time. The entire fucking time. Was there any time down there that you were happy?
There was a time when you suggested on the air that I go out like Friday after the show.
Well, and
we started doing that regular Friday thing, like with Kathleen from the Bronx and Bri.
Yeah. That came from he would not make friends. Like, with people that we worked with. We even knew people there from Florida and people there from New York who were working there. We knew all kinds of people. It wasn't like we showed up in a strange town where no one knew us, right?
Yeah.
There were welcoming people. We had a general manager who was fucking great to us. Wanted to team up and keep going and do different things. And Fez was just having nothing to do with it.
Fez would just go home after the show and just stay home by yourself, not.
Yeah,
he was crying all the time. And I had never known.
You must have been freaked out, right?
No, I just figured it is what it is, But that slowly is like I was like gave him a little while, but of course he wasn't saying because it was the guy. And I'm like, why are you being fucking pricks to everybody and shit? And and then whatever. But then when he started to really fuck up on the air and not like doing the show, we were doing this fastest hour in radio, and it was really fast, and it was so much fun. It was just bing, 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 and we would be done. And when he wasn't having fun with that, I started to get frustrated. And he was just dug in like, I'm not doing this thing. And the ratings came in. They were gigantic. We were coming on right after Howard. It was great. And, that's when this shit started that I'm still doing today. That's how long now? Over 10. Maybe 12 now. Hey, we got to go to a break here. Because I think you're going to get him back. I think it'll all work out.
I'm not even interested anymore.
Truth bomb. Bringing it. Not interested. You fucked up, dude. So enjoy your kids.
Beat it.
Right back. Ron and Fez Show.